Game 2 against the San Diego Padres. The Blue Jays shut out San Diego 3-0 yesterday for their first shutout win of the season. Now Toronto looks to keep the momentum going and snatch a series win on this 3-series homestand.
Gausman on the mound tonight, trying to bounce back from a tough outing his last time out against Tampa Bay. Tatis is that rare combination of power and speed. He's hitting over 300. And he got him to chase another splitter. A good start for Gausman.
So now he has a really tough opponent for his style specifically. Luis Arraez is up, one of the great contact hitters in the game.
It's that one into right center field. More success for Luis Arraez against Gausman. Springer cuts it off, but it will be a double. And for the second consecutive night, Luis Arraez a first inning two-bagger.
Let's check out the pitch right here. That's a breaking ball. That's a slider up in the zone. That's one of the things that Gausman will try to do after fouling some pitches off. Try to trick you with the off-speed stuff. We talked about the top 3 pitches, but he'll mix in once in a while. That's that slider.
And here's Manny Machado. 3 so far this year. And a balk has been called on Gausman by second base umpire Adam Hammery. Gausman wants an explanation. And John Schneider is racing out to get in the middle of this conversation.
Yeah, and you know what? And this is another thing. There is a problem because umpires don't see pitchers as frequently as they used to. To me, Gausman didn't do anything different than he's done all season long.
P. Walker's face, like, what did he do? Do you think it's that Hammery is saying once his left foot came down, it stopped, so he can't go up, down, up, down, up, down like he normally does?
But he does it all the time, and that's what I'm saying. If you're not used to watching Kevin Gausman, you wouldn't know that.
Here's Machado popping one up. Guerrero into foul territory to make the over-the-shoulder catch, and then alertly get it to the plate very quickly to hold the runner at third. Not a routine play.
No, and Vladdy's one of the best at doing that. He goes into foul ground and he catches it over his shoulder, and he's aware. He knows that there's a runner at third, so he gets the ball back to Kirk very quickly.
So now 2 down for Jackson Merrill.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gausman spins with a hop off the mound, punching out Merrill on a splitter to strand Arraez at third. No score after an inning for Randy Vasquez. Start 10 on the year, 3-3 with an ERA just below 3.5.
Bo Bichette to lead things off for the Toronto Blue Jays here in the bottom of the first inning. No score yet.
Oh, nice.
Right at the knees, and strike 3 called. A well-placed sinker. And he punches out Bichette to begin his night.
That'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Very similar to how the day started last night.
That one is banged up the middle, and Bogaerts has got it. 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning.
Here's Dalton Varsho with 2 down and the bases empty. Varsho in the 3 spot again tonight.
Swung on, popped up left side, heading towards foul territory near the third base bag. Manny giving chase underneath it and makes the catch for the final out. So Varsho puts together a good battle. The Vasquez wins it on the pop-up.
Gavin Sheets, the left-handed hitter. 2-2. Called. Strike 3. How about a fastball right on the outside corner? Third strikeout of the day for Gausman. 0-0 Blue Jays and Padres. Bases are empty. Jake Cronenworth. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Actually left the splitter up a little bit, but had Cronenworth out in front. A 1-2-3 inning for Gausman, who has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters.
Into the top of the third inning. No score yet between the Padres and the Jays. Jason Hayward will lead things off against Kevin Gausman.
Fastball line to Bichette. 1 down.
Hayward retired. Here's the 9-hitter Martin Maldonado, another veteran.
Whoa. Martin Maldonado, that's a fair ball. Gausman will throw him out. Most of that bat went towards Addison Barger at third. Boy, oh boy, you talk about getting jammed and sawed off.
Well, you know what? They always talk about get into a hitter's kitchen. I mean, that just barely missed his top hand. And look at that. All he ends up with a baton in his hand. And the barrel spins out toward third base. But, man, that is some deep kitchen right there.
2 down for Fernando Tatis. Back to the top of the order for the Padres.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikes out Tatis for a second time today on a splitter. And that's 3 scoreless innings for Kevin Gausman. Nathan Lucas hitting .240 on the year.
Line drive center field, and there's the first hit of the night for the Blue Jays.
Nathan's done a good job, and he gets to this ball. It was up a little bit higher than Vasquez wanted it, and he put a good swing on it and takes it right back up the middle into center.
A rise down, 1 out. Manny Machado comes up.
Manny into right field will send Springer back, and that's off the wall. Machado's on his way to second base. Springer fires in, and the second double of the night for the Padres.
That's the Manny we know and love. Sweet swing, squaring it up and driving it to the opposite field.
2 down now. Manny Machado still standing on second base, and it'll be up to Xander Bogaerts to try to break up this 0-0 tie.
Rocks back and delivers. Fastball, caught him looking, 97 at the knees, strike 3. The 1 out double by Machado stranded, and that's 4 scoreless for Kevin Gausman.
Padres and Jays still locked at 0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. will lead things off for the Jays.
Got him. Nasty sweeper to strike out Guerrero. 3rd K of the night for Vasquez. And 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Looked like a very hittable sweeper, but I tell you what, sometimes a hitter will just be a little bit too quick, maybe swinging a little bit too hard and not under control, and it swings right underneath that one right there.
Dalton Varsho fouled out to Machado, his only other time up. Got him. Back-to-back Ks for Randy Vasquez of Guerrero and Varsho. And now 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Hey, how about breaking out the old number 2? There's the curveball. That's exactly where you want to be. Bounce it right behind home plate.
Anthony Santander to hit for Toronto this inning against Randy Vasquez, who's allowed 1 single and hit 1 batter so far in this game. Those are the only mistakes he's made.
And he sends one to right field. It is off the wall. And he will put the brakes on around first. It caromed right to Tatis, who has a very good arm, and that's a very long single for Santander.
Yeah, Tatis has a cannon for an arm, and Santander did a wise thing here. This is a breaking ball. He doesn't really hit it on the barrel. It's toward the end of the bat. He hit it high and off the wall in right.
See if that comes back to bite him as Barger goes after the first pitch, sends it high and deep to center. Jackson Merrill goes up and makes the catch. That is the only part of Rogers Center where you can go up and do that. And Jackson Merrill just went up and did that.
Timing's everything. The flash look, that's a big out. It's a big sigh of relief as well.
A sliding stop by Bogaerts, and the Padres will get the lead runner. They force Santander. Clement safely across on a fielder's choice. Clement at first, 2 down. Nathan Lucas the batter. Lucas had a base hit to center in his first at bat. Lucas with a high fly, deep right field, and long gone. And he just keeps getting big hits for the Blue Jays. That's his 4th home run of the season now. And the Blue Jays have a 2-0 lead.
A big couple of runs in this ballgame.
Hanging sweeper from Randy Vasquez, who, as we had already talked about, narrowly avoided a couple of homers earlier. Not this time.
The Blue Jays will get a look at left-hander Adrian Morejon.
He throws a hard 2-seam fastball. It'll be up in the upper 90s, and there it is.
And it's bounced through the right side. A leadoff base hit for Barger. Bounce to third, and it gets past Machado and into left. And the Blue Jays have 2 men on.
Well, Manny Machado did a do-or-die move as he tried to get the short out.
He gets it down. And Machado can't come up with it. And the bases are loaded. Boy, 2 misplays in the same inning by a gifted defensive player over the course of his career. And the Blue Jays have the bases loaded with nobody out. Morejon to face Bichette. Bo is 1 for 3. Bounced a base hit up the third baseline his last time up. Grounded to second and bobbled. And they'll get an out at second, but Cronenworth was getting ready to come home. Couldn't do it. Barger scores, and the infield defense continues to betray the Padres. So now 1st and 3rd, 1 out for Guerrero. A little looper to center's going to drop for a base hit, and it is 4-0.
And Vladdy fights it off. He was in the hole 0-2 and goes down and hits a pretty good pitch down and in and flares it into center for an RBI.
Pulled down to third. Machado's got this one, and everybody is saying safe, and here comes Bichette to score. Arise tried to stretch, couldn't come up with it, and it bounced away to the point where Bichette comes home with the 5th run of the night.
So they could give him an infield hit and an error on Machado,
which would be his 3rd error of the innings. Here's a fly ball, well hit, right center field, and it's down. And 2 runs will come in to score. A long 2-run double for Clase. He's blown it open. It is 7-0.
Boy, what a big hit for Jonathan. He was been taking a lot of extra BP, working real hard to find that stroke, and he comes up with a big 2-run double here with 2 outs.
Here's Nathan Lucas. Got the Jays on the board first in the 5th inning. It was a 2-run home run. That was against Randy Vasquez.
Pulls it into right field, a base hit. And Clement is around second and into third.
Have a night, Nathan. Stay out.
Bichette will line one into center. That's a base hit. Clement jogging home. Lucas to second. It is 8-0.
It's a pretty good swing right there. 8-0 now in the ball game.
And the Blue Jays have had a game that everybody has been waiting for.
0-2 on Guerrero. A little jam shot up the middle. The flip to nobody, and everybody is safe.
This hasn't been pretty. The infield has really allowed the Blue Jays to open this game wide open. Machado has committed 3 errors in this game. Now Iglesias tries to flip it with his glove to Cronenworth, and they can't connect.
Blue Jays already up 8-0. Bases loaded, nobody out. Pitch to Dalton Varsho is hit high, deep center field. Merrill at the track, stumbling near the wall. It is gone! Grand slam, Dalton Varsho, and the Blue Jays have a dozen. 12-0 Toronto in the 8th. It just keeps on going for Varsho. His team leading 7th home run in only his 15th start of the year.
Well, good teams take advantage of mistakes from their opponents, and the Blue Jays have certainly done that tonight. Dalton Varsho gets that pitch in the middle of the plate, and he hammers it for a grand slam and a 12-0 Toronto Blue Jays lead.
Now Springer pulls one down the left field line, and that's a fair ball. And he can glide into second with a double. Barger hits one down the line into the right field corner. Springer will come home. Clase around to third. RBI double for Barger. 13-0. And a base hit into left. Clase will score. Barger to third. 14-0. Crowd of 23,266 tonight have enjoyed every minute of this one. And that is that. The Blue Jays score more runs than they had scored in a game all season. Nathan Lucas has another big night. Dalton Varsho with a grand slam. Kevin Gausman outstanding tonight. And the Blue Jays enjoy this win.